What started out as a WhatsApp group of friends spawned into a forum for debating and rating the films they saw. Then, one of them had an idea. Instead of typing their opinions, why not record them on a podcast? No Trailer Productions proudly presents Those Movie Review Guys. This podcast may contain spoilers.
You talking to me?
I will find you and I will kill you.
To infinity and beyond.
I am your father.
James Bond.
Here's Johnny.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And here we go.
Hello and welcome to the show. We are Those Movie Review Guys. 4 guys from London who love to watch, discuss and review movies. On every show we will look at a selection of titles, give our thoughts and feelings towards each one, and then conclude each review with a coveted TMRG star rating. As always, I'm joined by the fabulous
Kyle.
Giles.
Omari.
Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We're on all major streaming platforms. You can find us under Those Movie Review Guys. And make sure you get in touch with us on social media as well. At TMRG Podcast is the handle.
Well, it's been a while since we did this, hasn't it? A little while, anyway.
A little while.
It's good to see you all.
Likewise, my friend. Likewise.
So, how was your hyperbolic timetable sleep for 2 years, Giles? Can you remember much of anything that was going on before that?
What you mean when it was when everything was normal? Well, I want to use the word. I want to use the word normal quite loosely. When it was better.
Yeah.
When it was better.
Wait,
was it better though?
Was it exactly?
Well, it
really,
was.
Was it better?
Well, it was. Of course, it was better.
Are you sure?
How's it gotten better?
What do you mean?
What's better?
Well, it depends what we're talking about here.
All right. So, in general, in life, you know, how is it better now than when we last recorded?
In life,
Like people's lives. Do you think people are more happier now than?
Well, I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but I don't think anyone's life is better now, unless you're Jeff Bezos, but that's another conversation. One thing that's interesting to me, though, is, first and foremost, I'm going to just clap because we made it. We're here after 2 years of not being around, going through life. You know, I'm really happy that we're able to just jump back into the hot seat. But what's scary to me is that it's almost as though people have forgotten about the last 2 years.
Yeah.
they have.
That's. I think that's considering. I think considering the way how the last 2 years went, you know, especially the way our people's minds went for the last 2 years, the fact that, like you just said, everyone's just acting like they never happened. I think that it might even be a bit more scary, or a bit more worrying. Not much scary, but worrying. Definitely worrying.
Well, we made it and we're here. What I'm interested to know is, you guys know, obviously, my lockdown, I became a father. Was going through all kinds of stuff, wasn't working and the rest of it. So I didn't actually really watch a lot of films. I actually kind of went down the sort of box sets and went back, rewatched Game of Thrones, a few others as well. So, you boys know through our conversations in the WhatsApp group, I kind of switched off to movies. But I've got to give you your props because between the three of you, you still kind of managed to watch a lot of what was being released. And I guess kind of that would be a good way to kind of get back into the show is if we just have kind of a catch-up, ad hoc rating conversation of what you saw, what you'd recommend, what you would say, straight in the toilet. So I don't know, like how far back to even start? Because obviously for us, I remember the conversations we were having and it was kind of like, you know, through every bad situation, there's always a positive. And I think for me personally, the biggest positive was that we said, you know what, we're going to do TMRG revisits, which we will be jumping back into. So I'm really excited. Hall of Fame as well. We were concentrating more on, you know, Netflix movies, which obviously Carl is the boss when it comes to that stuff. Old favourites and just released content. So I can't even remember the last film we actually reviewed. Do you guys remember in episode 17? Was it Parasite? No, it wasn't. Was it?
Nah.
Was it Parasite?
No, that's the last one we done in the cinema.
It was The Five Bloods and All Day, All Night.
Oh, well
yes.
done.
Well,
yes.
No,
that's the last. That's the last one we released.
No, we did release Edge of Tomorrow. We did release Hall of Fame came out after that.
I think it was a bit of a loaded
Edge of
question.
Tomorrow,
yeah,
and Inception, I believe.
No, that was before it. Oh, was it? Oh, my. Oh,
no.
It's after.
That was a whole. That was a COVID episode. So that was middle of lockdown, pandemic. Nobody knew what was going on. We did manage to release an episode, and it was that.
So who saw?
Yeah.
I guess maybe a good point of starting the conversation is, what's the first film you remember seeing in, around, or after the pandemic that hadn't been released, so it was like a new release? Because for me, I think it was Mortal Kombat.
Tenet.
Oh well. Okay.
Oh yeah, Tenet. That was the first.
Agreed.
Tenet
in cinema. Yeah,
We have to start with Tenet.
Why?
I'd actually forgotten about it.
Because that's what I mean.
That's why we have to start with it. Listen, we are starting with the. Okay, here's my rationale why we're starting with Tenet. We're starting with Tenet because, like you, I've forgotten about it, but now I get the pleasure of remembering it and being able to forget about it all over again. So yeah, we could definitely got to start with Tenet.
That's very disrespectful to Tenet and Nolan.
Well, it was shit. It was awful.
No.
I would go as far as saying that him releasing the film was a disrespect to me. Making me go and sit through that was a disrespect in itself.
Okay, so you lot are disrespecting great craftsmanship. That film was a minimum 4 stars. That film was 4 stars.
4 stars.
That film was 4
stars. 4 stars.
That's how what I'm gonna do. If a film is said, I'm gonna give you a rating, and I'm gonna carry on my day. I'm telling you, it was 4 stars. That is my position. If you have to watch it twice, and the first time I watched it, I was drunk.
All right, do you know what? We're doing impromptu review because we all saw that one, don't we? So you're rating it 4 stars. I'm rating it 1.
Yeah.
I'm rating that 1 star. Carl, what you rating that?
I'm rating it 2 stars.
2 stars. Elliot, what you rating it?
I will be kind, and based on how.
No, don't be kind.
No. I'll be kind. I'm saying I'll be kind because it's hard for me to say anything good about the film, but I will be kind. I'm going to give it 2 stars, and that's only because of how it looked and the special effects.
Right, there you go. It's a 2-star still. It's a 2-star film. Let's move on. Right, next.
No, it's not a 2-star film. So let me get a 3 star on average.
It doesn't. No,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I thought we were rounding up. We're not rounding down.
No, we are. Hold on. It's
1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, so 3.
Yeah. Divided by 4 is 2.25.
Yeah, we're rounding up. I told you.
No. Bruv, have you got GCSE maths? Do you have?
Hey, listen.
You round to the nearest whole number. You round to the nearest whole number. Like I said earlier,
don't split the bill with Amari.
2-star film.
Don't split the bill with Amari, bro.
Oh, listen. It's a 2-star. It's a 2-star film. Like, let's just move on. Like, I'm surprised it even got you. You man are being generous. You're being very. I think you've got soft spot for Nolan.
I do.
I think that's why I got an extra star.
I do.
No.
And again, all I'll say was, for me, visually and like from the audio. So some of the scenes where, I mean, look, let's have it right. I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on throughout this whole film. And I think I even messaged you, Giles, pretty early on into it, saying, from when a man is on Wikipedia whilst he's watching a film, that's not a good sign, innit? And that was only for me to kind of grasp what was going on, so I could even get my brain into a position where I could appreciate all the other entities, which I didn't in the end anyway. So that's why, for me, visually and the sound design and everything, I thought it was good. So that's why I'm giving it 2.
Okay, wait. Question: did you man watch it twice or just watch it once?
Once.
Twice? Are you all right?
Twice doesn't count on mine. If you said you was drunk in the first watching, how is that? How are you counting that?
Exactly.
Man said twice.
Because I saw images and I was like, this looks wild with the images of the flashbacks. So I was like, let me watch it again.
Did you? So are you saying you understood it the second time you watched it?
Correct.
I reckon he was even more
without
confused.
going to any videos, or
Sorry,
you just understood it
Do I look like I will go to a video on YouTube to go watch another film? You really think
to
I will be
understand
doing?
the film.
Do you
So
think
you understood it?
I understood
Because-
enough of it to enjoy it? Yes.
But not even,
I'm
but
not
not
gonna say
even,
I'm
but not
okay.
even
about
enjoy
it.
it. You're saying this film was great. You're saying this film was good.
I'm saying it was a quality film. If you don't watch it a second time, you're not gonna grasp all the quality and enjoyment of it. But that's why you need to watch it a second time, and then.
For me, it's his worst film,
Easily.
Oh, okay.
and I'll leave it at that.
I third that. I third that.
You know what?
Okay.
Let's move on, because obviously there's just loads of trash talk.
So yeah,
Listen,
as I
I'm
said,
gonna review. In fact, before we move on, I'm gonna review. What's the film called? Tenet. I'm gonna review it. It's a pretentious version of Time Cop. There you go. 2 stars. Next film. What are we talking about next?
Will you tell me what was next in the cast?
I want to talk about A Quiet Place 2. That was the next film I watched in the cinema.
That came out a little while afterwards, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I'm just looking through my my cinema bookings now. That came out June 2021. That's when the cinemas kind of reopened at that point.
Yeah.
Because it reopened in May.
Can I just make a quick point as well? How much of a myth was it going to the cinema during lockdown and during the pandemic? Like the whole seating thing, the whole just kind of I don't know about you, because obviously I only went once for Tenet, and it was such a weird experience. Obviously, compared to what we're normally used to and we've been used to for all of our lives, it was very strange. Very strange.
For me, it was actually good. It was actually good because when I was going, no one was in there. There might have been 2 or 3 people, so it literally felt like I had the cinema to myself. So I enjoyed it when I first went back. The only annoying part was them saying you have to keep your mask on unless you're eating. So obviously, I didn't keep my mask on.
What was that rule all about? That was ridiculous.
Do you know what it was? It was
you have to keep your mask on unless you're eating and drinking. Like what?
I think
what?
Without going too much into the whole COVID conversation, but I think it was more of a thing of you have to try and show some sort of respect to what was going on and respect to everyone else in the vicinity. Because obviously, you know, again, I don't want to go into it, but the pandemic had us doing a whole bag of stuff that we really didn't need to. But I think specifically for cinema, it was kind of, obviously, it is an enclosed space. You are going to be near people. So to try and alleviate some of the potential anxiety for some, let's try to, you know, get through this, and by doing the whole mask and when you're eating things. But yeah, it was an interesting experience.
I'm seeing Giles's face while you're talking, and he's like, "This is stupid. People are stupid. We're in a stupid world." That's what I'm seeing, and he's not saying no words, and that's what I hear him saying: "Stupid, stupid, stupid, stupid,
stupid, stupid." Before we go back onto, because I think we've jumped. I think we've in terms of films being released, and I know around that time a lot of stuff was getting digital releases for obvious reasons. And there's just scrolling through my list, round about the time that the aforementioned Tenet was released, they decided to release another Bill and Ted film. Why? Why did they
did it get released? Oh, did you not see it?
Yeah, it was streaming. It was streaming.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So but remember, because they opened cinemas and we was able to watch Tenet, and then it closed again. And like I said, a lot of stuff was getting released digitally and streamed and all the rest of it. And one of the humdingers that they released was Bill and Ted Face the Music. I don't know why they released it. I don't know why it was even made.
Money.
To be honest with you,
You do know. You do know.
But then, how much money could it have actually have made?
Okay, I believe no pandemic that could have at least made 50 mil.
You think?
Yeah,
I agree with
this film was
but
bad.
the generation that would have gone to see it.
Listen, and the fact that Keanu Reeves has gone from
I wouldn't have gone to see
John
this in the
Wick,
cinema.
from doing John Wick to Matrix to Bill and Ted. Oh yeah, people definitely would have watched this film. The range,
I
the
don't
range
know
of
if
a
they
man.
would.
I don't
I
think
don't know if
either.
they would. I don't
Yeah.
think people would have watched this in the cinema. I don't think people would have paid money
No,
I
to
do.
come and see
I'm with
this.
Kyle on that.
If there was no pandemic, yes, they would have.
No,
And
because
when
if
I
there was
say
no pandemic, there would be so many other films getting released. You know, most people, a cinema experience is more a once a month max.
no,
Max.
I don't agree with that. Because I'd be like most people who
Really?
actually go cinema actually have a they usually have a Cineworld card or something
I
like
think
that.
I'd agree.
And the
No, you'd
only
be
reason
surprised.
I think I'd agree. I think in this day
Nah.
and age, especially maybe not so much the sort of 50 upwards. I think the sort of 30 to 45 age range, I think, is probably going cinema a lot more than you would imagine because of all of the whole unlimited things and the cinemas trying to make it easier.
You reckon?
Personally, I think so.
yeah.
Most people I chat to don't even go cinema. And this is before the pandemic. They go on there if it's a date or something, but they're not like, oh yeah, I'm a regular cinema goer.
Well,
People I know anyway.
just to put the numbers out there, it grossed a worldwide whopping 6 million. 6 million.
See, this is not fair though. This is.
No, but how are they calculating that though? That is a bit.
No, we're not doing the maths on that. We're not.
No,
We're
'cause-
doing.
no, well, it might have been renting, isn't it?
6 million.
It 6 million.
I swear. Wait, Charles, pull up the numbers for Sharknado, please. Pull up the numbers for Sharknado.
I think they might be slightly higher than 6 million.
It's going to be very high than 6 million. Number two is I heard that the main guy was getting paid like 10 million a film by film 3. Trust me, it was making more than 6.
Yeah, Bill and Ted, awful film. That's another 1 star. In fact, we don't do half stars, but it would
No,
probably, if we
that means you want to call it a dot. Call it a dot.
yeah,
Call it
is
a dot. Give it the
is a
mummy
dot.
rating. Give it
is
the
a
mummy
dot.
rating, and then we can continue. Cool.
It really is is a dot. So taking us into the tail end of 2020, does anyone remember watching anything that stood out for them? So we're talking
Yeah.
about autumn/winter 2020.
I don't actually remember that. Yeah, I can't lie. You're gonna have to it's gonna be one of the ones you have to say a film's name, and I'll tell you if I
Yeah.
saw it. I can't. Lie.
Yeah.
Let's move with those functions, with those movements. You got anything? You got anything in your list?
Well, I can tell you some films that I watched. I don't know if they were released or they were old films. So I watched was Unhinged. I watched that in December.
Oh yeah, I like that.
2020.
I like that.
Russell Crowe.
Oh, was that where he's
What was he
the
doing in this
driver
one?
and he loses his temper or something and turns into a murderer?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you rate that?
What did you think of that, Carl?
Yeah. I gave that 4 stars. I actually reviewed that on my
3.
YouTube as well.
I gave it 3.
I gave it
I'll give
4. I
3.
was you need to, that you just remind me of that film. It's very good. It is very good.
It's funny.
Entertaining. Yeah.
When
it's
it
funny.
actually
His
shouldn't be.
performance. Yeah. It's like another Kong.
Nothing's so Kong. Just don't let me get the picture of his eyes. Just the eyes.
But he was giving me that vibe in this film. You need to watch it. Oh
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I remember you saying the same thing. So I'll definitely add. Do you know what? I'm going to add that to the list now.
Yes, I'm gonna do a paper list. I'm gonna be old school.
Did you not watch this either?
Nah, I didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't watch. I was looking. I was like, if you're not gonna entertain me, I'm not involved.
Yeah, I thought it was a good watch. I give it a 3. Carl gives it a 4. We divide that by 2. That's 3.5. So it's a 4-star film. Well done.
No, what do you mean? So what? How do you round up now? No. I'm being violated out here.
Amari.
Nah, we just discussed about rounding.
Amari, in my former in a former life, I taught children how to count. Also how to add, take away, divide.
But it's not fitting my agenda. So
Multiply.
it's 3.
So
I'm rounding it down.
That's not how you round to the nearest whole number.
I round to the number I want. I already told you. This is how I'm doing it. Okay.
Well, when you watch it, you'll give it a 4. Anyway,
the banter for me is the blurb says he can happen to anyone.
hey, listen, trust.
That's how I know. Not even it could happen. He could happen.
You need to watch it. Trust me. When you watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying. You'll understand.
Yeah, it is.
I've added it to the list, so it's only 90 minutes as well. So
And because it's Russell Crowe as well, yeah, watch it tonight.
It's 90 minutes.
yeah, quick watch.
Okay.
It's very short. It's a very easy watch as well.
On easy watch, sort of male lead, and just because I heard someone speaking about Better Call Saul earlier on, did any of you guys watch? Is it No One or Nobody with Bob Odenkirk?
Wait,
Yeah.
what year was this film?
That's 2021.
Is this? Okay, so we're not there yet.
Okay, I just wanted to know because I wanted to know if it was any good.
I like the chronological order that we're doing it in.
I think it's because remember it dropped on streaming, and I remember that around the same time as Mortal Kombat. But then I think so where it says 2021, that's probably when because they put it in the cinemas when it opened, when they opened. So I think it might be 2020 streaming.
Are we gonna just if you're gonna talk about that film, here we go. I gave it 4 stars.
So we have jumped a bit. I'd give it 4 stars as well, but that's April 2021. That's when it dropped.
Okay, it just came to me now, so I thought I'd ask now. But
it was one I was going to touch on.
I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say any date now, any month or any film for the whole year.
You just said you like the chronology that we're going in.
Yeah, but I just said I'm gonna contradict myself.
Date.
Yes, what did I just say? I just said I'm gonna do that. I don't know what months these films came out. I just got 2021 list, and that's it.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say to that. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick to the chronology. You can be as haywire, and this is why it pays. This is why it pays to use a service that I use that tracks little plug there that tracks what you're watching because you can keep records. So around March 2021, another sequel came out that shouldn't have. Can you remember what it was?
no,
Was this Fast 9?
No.
Sequel.
When was
Matrix.
March 2021.
Matrix.
No, that's
much later. That's much later.
So March 2021, a sequel that when it was announced, there was like a unanimous groan across the planet. And they still went ahead. Went ahead.
Are we talking number 2? Yeah, not 3, 4, anything.
No, it's a sequel. A direct sequel.
And you watched it deliberately because you thought it was going to be good, or
No, I watched. Listen, I knew. Look, I watched it because it was a film. I already knew it was going to be atrocious, but I still watched it.
What was this? I can't remember.
So March, I actually watched it. I think I actually watched it on the day it came out. Yeah, on the evening it came out, Friday.
Oh, I know. Coming to America.
Yep.
Oh.
Why?
No, you're right. Do you know what? Do you know why it just dropped in my head? It was the unanimous groan because I remember even us. Yeah. I posted the picture of Eddie Murphy, and I think he was what? Oh, yeah. I can definitely contribute to this one. Fucking hell.
Oh,
did you watch it?
I did. I think, and another giveaway was when you said you watched it the evening it came out because that was another streaming one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Prime, Amazon, I believe it was.
That was the Amazon this time. Yeah.
I remember I was watching that in the morning. I watched that in the morning, and I remember people asking me about it. Oh yeah.
Carl, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. Unfortunately, yeah.
Go on.
Is anybody going to give it over 2 stars? I feel like we should just keep it real.
No,
simple.
it's getting 1 around the board. So we already know that already.
1 star.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing the lines very quickly.
5 worst of the year. That would make a top 5 worst of the year.
That'd make a top 5 worst of the decade.
It's not even worth. No, but it's not even worth talking about it. It's not even worth. Like, look. even I don't care. The respect to the people that made the film, the art of filmmaking, it's not even worth it. Like, that's not even greed. That was just absolute, just lunacy and nonsense. That's all it was. But you know, a lot of people enjoyed that film, bro. A lot of people enjoyed it.
Aye, they really did, you know.
I know.
They
A
really
lot of
did.
people
I was
did actually
amazed.
enjoy it. I don't know why.
Nostalgia, that's all it is.
But wait, what did I watch that had good nostalgia? We'll talk about it, but it was a film this year that had the correct amount of nostalgia.
I know what film you're talking about.
You know what film I'm talking about.
I know.
Hey.
I think for me,
Anyway.
the reason, I mean, this Coming to America was billed as a comedy. Yeah, it sat itself firmly in the comedic genre, and there was just nothing funny about it whatsoever. You know, I remember it repeated some of the jokes. I mean, what was the gap in years between the first one? And the
I
second?
remember you said this.
30?
I remember you said
It was
it.
30 something,
I
wasn't
remember
it?
we had a
Was I even
conversation
born?
about this.
I don't think I was born.
No, we weren't.
I don't think I was born.
It was awful. It was shit. It was one of the shittest films I've ever seen.
I don't know if you're. I don't know about.
And then what it tried to do, what it tried to be clever. Don't know why, but it tried to be clever, and it tried to kind of make sense of how he got this son, and you had this low key, like, it was like low key a rape scene when you think about it.
Oh
'cause the
yeah,
woman,
in the apartment.
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't she slipped him a little roofie?
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
she? Yeah.
It's true. I didn't even.
It was off key.
1 star.
But what really pissed me off the most about it, what one star all round, absolutely, was that I'd watched a comedy, and this film I came to find out was released in 2019, but I watched it 2 days earlier, called Palm Springs, and it was fucking hilarious, and it was a time loop film, which generally you stay away from them, but this one, if you haven't seen it, boys, go and watch it.
I think that's on Prime as well, isn't it?
It is on Prime.
What's
yeah.
that? Palm Springs. Yeah.
What you giving Palm Springs?
I'm giving that 4 stars,
Okay,
Oh wow, 4, yeah.
and it's a comedy.
and it's a comedy.
So that means it's going to be 1 star for me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We
Well,
know
What do you
how-
mean? We had this conversation already, Amari. I'm surprised you actually didn't rate Coming to America. That's the first comedy you don't like.
Because it was bad.
I was expecting him to say there was belly up laughing.
Exactly.
Okay, you lot are just taking the mick out of my enjoyment of life, you know. Let me enjoy my comedies. Anyway, you'll see all the ones that I want to see in the list. All are comedies, by the way. But
Special mention as well to Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, did that came out in the last 2 years?
That's 2020 as well, I think.
Yeah, because remember that was pushed back. That was pushed back. to March.
That could arguably be the worst superhero film ever made.
That's a very big statement.
We haven't got started on Marvel
That's a
yet.
very big statement on Marvel.
But this was very bad.
I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
This was very bad. This was This was a 1-starer. And to be fair,
Can I throw a contender in there?
No, carry on. But we're now off topic.
No, we're not. We're on. No, we're segued blatantly and beautifully on topic. Actually, since we're going to talk about really bad superhero films in the last.
Actually, no, I've got one that's worse than that.
I'm going to throw one in that was finally released after being in development
before you do
for about a decade.
Are we not saying? Because before we move on, we have to rate. So I'm guessing Wonder Woman was 1 star all round again.
Yeah.
2 for me.
One.
But I know you have a fetish, Carl, because I know you thoroughly enjoyed the first one. So put that to the side.
No. The problem was
It's not a 1-star film. It wasn't horrible.
Okay, number one was really good until the end fight scene, and that's what dropped it a star. Number 2 was terrible, and then it had a terrible end fight scene as well. So you're really doing the most of direness. And you know what? I'm gonna take back my statement. It's probably not the worst superhero film because there was definitely another film I saw in
There's at least
pandemic
3
times.
that come to mind.
Well,
To be fair,
I'm
they're
gonna
all
throw one
Marvels.
in now. I'm gonna throw one in
Oh, go
now.
on.
New Mutants.
Oh, you watched
Okay,
it?
see, because of your
I
rating, I
didn't
never
watch
saw
it.
that.
Watched it.
I didn't watch
Just give
it.
us your
Well, I
review,
did.
Because of
please.
your ratings. No, he was
New
cussing it too
Mutants.
much. That's why I
Okay.
couldn't watch it.
It's true, yeah. He finished it off.
Before it's true.
Listen.
You was getting onto that film from early doors repeatedly. New Mutants. It was coming in. Man was saying, how was your day, Charles? No, it was good until I thought about New Mutants. He was going crazy. I can find at least 3 clips from different episodes where you reference New Mutants.
Listen, I tell you what. Listen, I tell you how bad New Mutants was. New Mutants was so bad that I wish I was an old mutant, yeah, and my superpower was forgetting stuff because then I'd be able to forget. It was so bad.
Why? What
And-
made
and-
it so
and also,
bad?
like I said-
what made it so bad?
Well, for starters, the film was originally supposed to be released. I mean, it had the most horrendous developmental journey, and you know, I think who's one of the actresses in it? I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she played Arya in Game of Thrones.
Which, in a very, very quick side note, my brother knows someone she knows, and she actually moved to him a couple of years ago. In a side note.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just sprinkling
was
that bit of information into your universe.
But yeah, she probably started filming this when she was about 7. And then it didn't get released till she was about 17. And then they brought her back to finish scenes when she was 17, even though she started filming when she was 7. It's like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, it was awful.
This is scary.
It was, and obviously it's a Marvel film, right?
But the question is, was it the worst Marvel film that's come out? Because I know which one's the worst one, and it's not
Ever.
And it didn't come out through Marvel Studios, did it? I think
Yeah,
that
but
was
it's but it's Marvel related, so it's still getting that slap.
Yeah.
Now there was a worse
okay,
Marvel
alright.
film.
Are you talking about ever?
No, in the last
Or in the period?
There's
this
about
last
3
few
of
years.
them. There's at least 3 of them.
Well, the worst one for me was Black Widow.
Oh, here we go. Love that. That's the one.
That's
I
the
think
worst.
Eternals was worse for me.
Oh, see, it's
Oh,
hard.
that's a
It's so
shame.
hard. It's
That's
so
a shame.
hard.
That's a shame.
You know
All right.
what?
So for me, obviously, I haven't seen either of those two, and I'm not really fussed about spoilers at this point. So
You know, you need to watch.
we've
Black
spoken
Widow.
about Marvel countless
No, you don't
times.
need to watch Black Widow.
Can you tell me though why these films were so bad?
Okay, so Black Widow, it's like watching Captain America 2 with poor choreography, poor CGI, poor acting, and just be like, why am I watching the duplicate and the poor version? And what annoys me is that we know obviously it didn't come out for Black Widow didn't get a film for 15 years because she was a woman, and I'm like, this is what you're giving me as your standards. To be fair, actually, Marvel just dropped the ball in all their women superhero films. Because I remember Miss Marvel as well. That was another.
Agreed.
That was another hot pile.
Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel?
Same thing. Because I tried to watch that kiddie show, and it's all gonna get slapped with the same thing. they are failing them women. I cannot lie. Someone needs to be sacked for what they're doing to them. I swear it.
I think Giles will definitely agree with that. I was saying, I think you'll definitely agree with that, Giles. Mario's touching on Miss Marvel and the TV Marvels. But again, I know we don't talk about TV, but I think for Marvel specifically, it all comes under the same umbrella.
They're violating their women. That's all I'm going to say. They're violating unnecessarily. There's no need to violate their women like this. Give them some respect. You know, when at equal age, do better. That's what I needed them to do. I needed them to do better. However, the Eternals was bad.
The Eternals was bad. But it was long as well. It was a long old film.
I'm surprised.
Especially with that
the
cast
level
as
of
well.
Cast, yeah. I was shocked that Angelina Jolie will come into Marvel.
No.
Weird.
She got paid, innit?
Well, she just wanted a bit. She wanted a bit. Yeah, exactly. She wanted a bit of Disney money, man.
Disney money is long.
It's all about the money.
Disney money is long and wasteful.
Listen, they had a cameo from Harry Styles at the end. Like,
Are you joking?
Yeah.
No, serious.
joking?
No,
No,
the film is a joke, man.
no, he's actually ain't even
All
gonna be.
right. So that spurs a very quick, interesting conversation. Are we done with Marvel?
Oh,
Like, obviously we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch, but from a fandom perspective, are we done with Marvel?
What? I mean, this multiverse phase. Oh, for fuck's sake! And again, it kind of got ushered in during the pandemic, and there was, we're at a point with it where there's more TV shows than there are movies being released, and it's almost like they've created so many subplots that they just don't know what to do with it. And the kicker is they've now acquired the rights to the X-Men and mutants, all the rest of it. So now we're going to throw that into the mix as well. It's like
it's never ending.
Are we going to talk about those two multiverse films quickly? Because obviously people were telling me that Spider-Man 3 was good, or should I call it the Stony?
Oh yeah, that was the only positive.
Or should we call it the Stony?
Yes.
The Stony Spider-Man films, because really it was just all their villains and nothing of his own because he has no self-respect. So what we're going to call it? Because obviously you know where I'm coming from already. Now my position already.
Now can I just precursor? I didn't watch. Is it No Way Home?
No Way Home.
However, I saw an advert yesterday. It's going back into the cinemas, isn't it?
Yes,
you saw that.
this week I believe.
So they're stealing money.
They've added a few extra scenes.
Right, so I'm actually going to go and watch this because I just wanted but I think Bond and Spider-Man were the two main ones for me that I was like, I've got to get back in cinema with them, and I missed them both. So don't spoil Spider-Man.
Oh, Bond!
You can give me your rating.
Is that where are we in the order? Is that 2020?
We gave up because we're doing Marvel. We're doing Marvel. We gave up.
Yeah, we've kind of parked it, but when we come back, we're around. Where are we? We're around March, April 2021.
Right, yeah. So we had Spider-Man, Dire. Actually, it wasn't Dire. It was just Dire because you lot keep telling me Spider-Man makes good films, but Spider-Man's characters has no character development. Hey, can we talk that stupid lovey-dovey relationship with Ned and the? Listen, you really want me to talk about this film?
Spider-Man was good.
Oh, you're a liar.
Spider-Man was okay.
Spider-Man was okay. I gave it 4.
You gave it a what?
It wasn't as good as everyone was raving.
You gave it a what?
Yes, I gave it a 4. It wasn't as good as everyone was raving, like it's the best Spider-Man ever, but it was a quality movie.
Sorry, can someone make sure that Kyle's not drunk or something? Because you said 4.
So what are you rating it, Amari?
But Amari's got an issue with Tom Holland. He's got an issue.
He's got an issue with
Iron Man. Do you remember
our conversation? Spider-Man. Yeah,
I don't have an issue.
He says Spider-Man's films are Iron Man.
Iron
Man. That's what
Spider-Man 2 was Iron Man 4. We already told you this.
Yes, that's your issue. That's your issue. Yeah.
No, my issue is I watched a film which had no villains of itself. What am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What creativity is this?
So you're holding that against it. You're holding that against it.
Of course. And
so what's your rating, please?
I'm giving it a generous 2.
Okay. We'll see what you think, but I'll be shocked if you come in anything less than 3.
I'm going to double up on that 2 and then give Doctor Strange a 2 as well. Because obviously, because of one jazz...
Doctor Strange is a 1.
I'll give it 1 as well. So you...
Wait a second. You man are cussing my rating of a 2 for Spider-Man, but then you're going to give Doctor Strange a 1.
So are you now going to tell me that Doctor Strange is better than Spider-Man?
No, they're both same crud. That's it. They're both same crud.
No. Amari, I can enter this, and I've been waiting to offload some of the feeling, the emotion. When it comes to Marvel, I feel like I've put it on wax that Doctor Strange, for me, is one of the best Marvel films. I thoroughly enjoyed that film. I liked the way they portrayed, obviously, the moving through dimensions, the teleporting, I can't remember, is it, you know, when the film kind of to change the animation and he's going through like a different time or something, but the way they portrayed that, I thought was excellent. I thought Cumberbatch done the character. He'd done it so well. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. So when I heard obviously the second one was coming out, I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be brilliant. Let's see. Now we're talking multiverse. This is just going to be like number one, but even better. I was thoroughly disappointed. The plot was rubbish. The villain was a joke.
Wait, who was the villain again? What was the villain?
Some woman, some witch.
The villain was the fucking director and producer. That's who the bloody villain was.
No, Doctor Strange was a 1-star film. I was so disappointed. The comedy didn't fit.
There was comedy.
Everything about it was weak. The CGI I thought was poor. Some of the fight scenes, it was really bad. I didn't care about anything in this film, and it was just very disappointing because I thought number one was excellent. I gave number one 5 stars.
Yeah, but that's like this is how you yeah. Number one was 5 stars.
Wow,
no,
wow.
Sorry. Have you seen?
4 stars for number.
Are you telling
3
me?
from me.
What?
I didn't rate it that highly. Yeah.
Now I know how you got. Now I know how you got to
don't
1.
even come in my top 5 Marvel. Nah.
Oh,
Doctor
it can always
ain't had it like that. Nah.
Yeah, it definitely could be argued. It could definitely be top 5 argument.
Yeah,
nah,
3, and it was just decent to me.
Man said decent.
But yeah, this one
4 stars for me.
Number 2 was very bad, very bad, and then it kind of.
You know what?
No. I was just gonna say, it's kind of given me this ick again, you know, because I've been hearing that the series that they've been making aren't great. I've been hearing that Thor as well wasn't great. Like, and again, we've had this conversation. We've said, okay, you know, I don't know the phases by number, but where we got up to, I think. How are you going to outdo this now? Where are you going to take this that's going to show us storylines and character development, things that we haven't seen before that as equally as enthralling? I can't see it. And it just, to me, especially for Doctor Strange, he's only had 1 film. For it to fall off in the way it did, boy, I've got no hope. And then now I'm hearing Eternals as well. It's not looking good for Marvel, in my opinion.
Sorry, Giles, just to cut you. The problem Doctor Strange had is that they released it with an 8-year gap. I think that was the biggest problem. It's too big. It's like, when you see sequels.
Was it 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years. I think it's 8 years.
No, hold on.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it's 8 years.
I don't
think it was that.
No. Maybe 5, but not 8.
I think it's 8.
Because it couldn't have been 8.
I don't think it
couldn't
is.
have been 8.
It feels like 8.
Couldn't have been 8.
No, I don't.
It could be 4. I could be completely wrong.
I'm gonna have to. Your maths is off again now,
hey,
buddy.
listen, man, we're doing North London maths. I'm not saying South London because I respect South London.
2016, Amari.
Yeah, that's 2016. What's that? 6 years.
It came out in 2021, didn't it?
Well, it felt like this came out. No, it came out in 2022. It didn't come out this year.
Yeah, it came out this year. I think it got pushed back.
So 6 years. So I'm gonna.
Yeah,
6
6 and 8.
Yeah. They're the same
6
time.
and 8.
Hey, listen. We had 2 pandemic years. Add them in, makes it more. 4. There you go. 6, 8. Math done.
Right. What I was going to say,
he's got a point there.
Just trying to. Yeah, he has. He actually does. He actually does for once. What I was gonna say was.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that. Well done, you picked up on that.
Yeah, get back to it.
That's it. You still got it, son. Yeah. I've just realised how much like superhero movies were released, because you go further on in 2021. You've got Shang-Chi, which was exactly just by Amari's groan. And then I think what got released this year, other than is it just? And obviously we mentioned Eternals.
Don't forget Venom.
Yes, yeah, Venom was the other one, which was awful.
What did you rate that?
Absolutely awful.
2.
Oh no,
Venom
2.
Yeah,
2.
Oh no,
2, and I'm being very generous. And I say that to say, and then obviously 4 earlier.
Has anybody watched 4?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Of course, I've
Yeah,
watched it.
I couldn't
watched
bring
it.
myself to do it because I didn't understand why
it's
I
not
didn't
very good.
understand why they went past 3 films for a character, and I was just like, okay, sorry.
But what I was going to say was it it lets you know how, I don't know, maybe poor or saturated or oversaturated or just kind of bad this whole superhero genre has gotten. When for me, the best or the most enjoyable superhero film that was released during this period that we're talking about was the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
If you want me to comment, I gave that film 5 stars.
There you go. There you go. And now, bearing in mind, I don't know if you've watched that, Els.
No.
Bearing in mind,
It
if you have you watched the original? Have you watched the original?
No, I couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't.
But you know that. Well, I've watched the original, and that is a poor
what did you give?
film.
What did you give the original?
I didn't watch the original, so I've only seen the Snyder cut.
Oh, so no,
I would give the original a 2 stars. I'll be real.
I agree.
But then having and it actually half burned me to go back and watch, but I was urged by a friend to no, give it, and it was, I can't believe you can pick up cuttings from a floor and call people back to reshoot some scenes, and you come back with a completely different film that's actually like, raw, this is actually good. Bearing in mind it's a DC film as well,
And it's about 5 hours longer.
And it's about 5 hours longer. Absolutely. Also, as well, I think the other enjoyable superheroes film, and this might even be even a bit more controversial, was the Suicide Squad. I enjoyed that.
I said you would. I gave that 5.
You gave it 5.
There you go. I'd give that 4 stars because it was so unserious. It was so unserious, but so well done. Enjoyed it thoroughly. And I don't think have DC released anything since that.
The Batman, which was 5 stars
the Batman as well. The Batman I'd have given. I was leaning to. I'm kind of in the middle between 3 and 4. I actually enjoyed the Batman. I thought it was a really good.
So how do you give it?
Rendition
How do you give 3 to 4 if you enjoyed it?
Because there were.
Like, it sounds like it should be a 4 to 5 conversation, not a 3 to 4 conversation. If you're telling me,
a 5.
Nah, 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Maybe I need to rewatch it. To be honest with you, when it comes to the superheroes, my brain has literally been frazzled. I no longer watch any of the TV series. I think the last TV series I watched, Marvel, was WandaVision. And yeah, I want my money back, and I didn't even pay to watch it. It was that bad. But yeah, that's that. I think that's enough superhero stuff. To be honest with you, it's not been very good.
And it's not looking good. But then saying that,
no,
I might
it's not.
spur another conversation here when I say I'm actually very interested to see
the spirit of the Black Panther.
He does.
Let's not. No, I wasn't even going to say that. I was going to say Black Adam. I'm interested. I'm interested. I won't lie. I'm interested. That's all I'm going to say. And also, throwing forward to my Black Panther review, I'm not expecting anything more than 2 stars. Anyway, moving on.
You're generous, but carry on.
So yeah, did we review did we give ratings for Nobody?
I said 4.
I think we all said 4.
I say 4.
You said, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's easily a 4-star film.
Wait, did Fast and Furious come out in this time?
It did.
Okay, we're going to talk about it because my premonition of saying they'll go into space came true. And that's all I care about. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
we
right.
need to. Yeah, we definitely.
That's all I care about. Thank you.
I'm bowing. Because when you said it, I thought it was hilarious. But then when it happened, I think I even saw a clip. And I remember I voice noted in the group straight away and said, "You're not going to believe this, but they've gone to space." Oh dear!
I can't wait for number 10. I won't lie to you. I cannot lie.
That's a field day. That's a field day. We'll all go and see that together.
That's not even the last one though, is it? Are they doing 10 and 11?
No, I think it's just 10 now. I think.
Really?
But you know, well,
This has got to be
discussing 10. The fact that we're discussing 10 is very wild. So I don't know.
This has got to be the biggest grossing franchise of all time now, easily, surely.
Of course, because no one's gone to 10.
No, Star Wars is on 9. Star Wars is on like 13 with all its all random stuff.
To be okay, yeah, it's probably only Star Wars and that's it.
Harry Potter must have done quite well.
You're right.
Only 6 though.
No, but it has 7. It has 7 films in it.
7.
Yeah, 2 Deathly Hallows
because the
and
last
6
one
books.
was in 2 parts.
Yeah, because they somehow said let's make
right.
more money. It didn't need to make more money,
right.
but they said let's make more money. Let's find a way.
Yeah, that's probably the number one. Yeah.
Right, so that's summer. That I guess F9 was the biggest release for summer 2021.
Can we talk about A Quiet Place too? Because
we can. Sorry, Carl.
Yes.
You did mention it earlier. Go on.
Yes, I did think going into it, I thought, no, it's going to be horrible. Why are they doing it? But that film surprised me. That was another strong 4 stars.
Yeah, agreed.
No spoilers because I ain't seen it yet. And
you haven't seen it?
Listen,
Oh, well.
I slapped. I can't lie.
Okay,
and I remember
no
I kept
spoilers
on,
then.
I remember kept on trying to go to the cinema to watch it, and I was like, oh, it felt like a chore.
Yeah,
And I
let's
remember
just say it surprised.
You kept on saying, but yeah.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at that then. But that's
It's worth a watch. Very worth a watch.
one of the films of the year, I would say.
Would there be a part 3? Would you reckon? Got to do a part 3.
I think so. Yeah, they have to. Based on number 2, they have to do a part 3.
To be fair, I didn't even know they needed a part 2. To be fair, I won't lie.
It didn't need it, and that's what I thought. But that's what made it even better. That you actually didn't need this, but you somehow done it.
I respect it.
How was Cillian Murphy in that film, by the way?
You know he's a quality actor. So
It's actually quite good.
Yeah, it's good.
He's really good.
You don't sound convinced.
No, I'm because he's one of my favourites, so I wanted to know, because I don't know anything about the film, but I thought I saw him in it. And, you know, sometimes with sequels that may not be wanted or welcomed, and then you're saying it was a good film, so I'm not interested in how his performance was. Speaking of Cillian, as I mentioned the other day, I believe he's the lead in the new Nolan offering. Is it Oppenheimer or something like that?
They're not doing that. Film's not about the Operation Oppenheimer. Oh, this can't be that.
You sound like you know exactly what this film's about, because I read that and had no idea.
Because it's a war thing.
Murray, you never cease to amaze me.
No, but if it's Oppenheimer, it's either the war. It's something to do with World War II, and it was like a
Let's
secret
have a look.
operation. That's Oppenheimer. That's some art.
That sounds like it would be a Nolan thing to run with.
Interesting.
I believe it is. So it's coming out next year. I'm seeing Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Florence, is it Pugh, Jack Quaid, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon. A man in a suit and hat stands in the middle of a gigantic explosion. So yeah, it must be. Interested.
Okay. I'll chuck it on the list.
That's not until 2023 though, so yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone see The Many Saints of Newark?
Not yet. We, me and Amber have just finished. Yeah, we've just finished Sopranos, so we'll be watching that this week.
Maybe we'll talk about that at a later date then.
What did you rate it though?
It's a 2-star film.
Oh no!
But I didn't even want to say, but based on the fact that it was Sopranos related, I'll give it 3 stars. But yeah, it's a 2-star film.
Hey,
sorry.
I watched some reviews about it, and it was even less than 2. A lot of people were giving it.
Bond,
1 star.
Oh my days! Kyle!
Yeah,
what
it
the
was
fuck?
poor.
And you're a Bond guy. 1
I was going to be
star.
generous and give it 2 stars, and Carl just said, "No,
1
fuck that."
star.
1 star.
James Bond. A James Bond film, 1 star. No. This is mad.
Just to clarify, Kyle, are you saying this was worse than Spectre?
In my opinion, yes.
Man gave a James Bond film a 1 star.
I won't spoil it because you obviously haven't seen it.
I didn't give it 1 star. I gave it, I think, 3. I think it was a generous 3. It shouldn't be. It should be 2, but for nostalgia purposes, I gave it a 3.
Nostalgia. We can't even. You're gonna.
I
Watch
know
it,
we can't even discuss it. I know we can't.
Charles,
Yeah,
what did you
I
rate?
was not rating.
What did you rate?
2. Yeah, 2.
Bond, a 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, he's so upset.
No, because nah, man. Look, listen. We all grew in this country, but there's not much to shout from the rooftops about. But James Bond is one of the only things I'm proud of that comes out of this country.
You're proud of
he's
the
not even English. He's not even English. I just like what I love a Bond film. I love a Bond film. I love the quintessential Britishness of it, and you always, most of the time, to expect entertainment from the action, and from when you're saying it's 2 and 1 star, and we're at this point. I mean, I'm not really surprised, as you said. Personally, I don't think it's Daniel Craig. His head's not been in it for a long time, and it kind of almost as though they were trying to mask the quality of the films with bigger stunts and more sort of visual feats. So I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed, but I'll still give it a watch.
Question: did they release who's going to replace him? Do we know this?
We can't speak about that.
No. I mean, like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Yeah, but we
sense,
can't touch because there's certain things that happen, don't it?
No, but
we can't touch on.
No, but I mean, in the sense,
because that's the way I saw them angling. You know what I'm talking about.
You know what?
It seemed like they were angling.
No. We're not going to spoil it. But I mean, I just mean in the sense where
we don't know. No, obviously, okay. Let's put it like this: Daniel Craig's contract was up. This was his last film, and as we know, in my lifetime, there's been about 4 or 5 different James Bonds. So it's time for some. It's time for someone. No. So in answer to your question, Amari, no. The new James Bond hasn't been.
Okay, that's cool. That's what I was trying to work out. I don't remember if I was told it and I forgot, and
Well, I heard rumours about them going towards a female Bond character. Is this true?
This is what I didn't want to discuss.
I don't. At this point, I don't care because the reality is.
Let's not discuss it. No.
You just watch it, and then we can talk about it.
Just watch it.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna go with probably my favorite film for various different reasons of the year for 2021. And again, this is a film that was pushed back a year because we was meant to. We spoke about it about it upcoming. Looking forward to review it. I'm gonna go with King Richard.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with King Richard. Yeah. For obvious reasons, it touched a very strong nerve with me. I know Will Smith. Well, I know Will Smith. All things considered, it's Will Smith. It's Will Smith, but I think he did a bloody good job.
But again, very quickly, this goes into a discussion I think we've had before about how good of an actor he is, or how much do we enjoy? Because Kyle, I remember you talking about the whole roundtable discussion and saying, as sick of an actor as he is, he's not on that upper echelon of acting because he hasn't and doesn't do theatre work and stuff like that. So it's just interesting that Giles, obviously saying you love this film. I'd be interested to see what you boys thought as well. But it does open another discussion. Maybe this isn't the time for it, but it does. It's something that I'm always, because I've had conversations about his work, like with Ali and some of his films. So they're great, but he can be very hit and miss as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was extremely convincing as Richard Williams. Even down to his mannerisms, I think he had them I think he had them on point. Again, I think a lot of people watched this film and thought, why is it about him? And when they say him, they're talking about Richard Williams. But it's the reality is, it wasn't about Serena or Venus. It's about how they became the phenomenons or the legends, the goats that they are today. And if it weren't for him, Richard, played by Will, they wouldn't be. Yes, Amari.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about this, but when you was talking about that, it reminded me of the film One Night in Miami. And I'm pretty sure we never covered it. And I'm
not seen it, but I'm
pretty sure it came out during, I'm going to call it the pandemic years. Because I don't.
Yes, I think you're right. On Amazon.
And the reason why I'm talking about this film, because we discussed it, me and Kyle discussed it. I don't remember what Kyle gave it, but I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 or a 5. And I feel like I could even still give it a 5. I think I gave it a 5. Yeah. Put that on your list.
It's already on my list.
Yeah, but Kyle, I remember you singing praises about this film.
Yeah, it was definitely a 4-star film. Yeah, you should watch that as well. It's basically set in one location, but it's more the themes and topics that come up and the acting performances from everyone. Brilliant.
Yeah, it came out in October 2020. It is on my list. I'm looking at it now.
It's only because we were talking. It just flashed in my mind when we were speaking. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely. It's like, because obviously the release dates sometimes get confusing.
Yeah, King Richard. I did enjoy the film. I gave it 4 stars. He definitely gave a good performance. There were some things missing in the film. There were things that I would have liked to have been covered a bit more.
Like what?
So I felt like I really wanted to understand why he chose tennis. The film kind of just starts and he's training it, but it's never really clear his motivation, why he actually wanted him to do that sport.
So maybe I can clear that up. So there've been I've seen the same interview numerous times, but he actually does say the reason why he chose tennis was that he was like watching something, or he saw an advert, and it was like the winner will get 10 grand. So it was literally.
But they didn't show that in the film. Purposes. You have that knowledge, but I felt that was a big factor that was missing. It was like the film kind of just starts with him kind of training, but I wanted to know the step before that. That why is it that you decided to put these black girls in?
I guess because from Compton, like
it's so random, and so that was pivotal for me. And why would you leave that out? And there's a lot of things I felt like they left out in terms of the family dynamics.
I think maybe because it was a bit of common knowledge, but yeah, because of what they turned into.
Yeah, and there was that, and the other thing, I wanted them to go a bit more into their career to show again the racism that they face, like Hingis. I wanted them to touch on those kind of things.
Or even before the Hingis stuff. I mean, they literally cut the film when they became known. But there's very early on they were playing tournaments and getting booed, and But then it's I do know what you mean. There were bits that they could have included, but.
Yeah, so that was all.
Because I kind of know the story anyway. You kind of But
so it was only small things, but that's why I didn't give it the 5.
Thoroughly recommend you watch it if for those of you that haven't seen it though. I didn't give my rating. That's a 5-star for me. Sorry, I don't give out many 5 stars, but that's a 5-star for me. Anyone watch The Harder They Come?
Yes, The Harder They Fall, isn't it? Idris, the cowboy film.
That's a different film. No, there was a cowboy.
No, he's a cowboy. He's a cowboy in this as well.
Okay.
It's with Kang. What's his name? Jonathan Majors, I think his name is.
The guy from Lovecraft.
Yeah, from Lovecraft. Yeah, and he's Kang. Yeah. Or again.
Did you watch Lovecraft?
Okay, I know we're off topic.
I did.
Top five. Top 5. Top 5. Alright, listen, they got blood on their hands for cancelling it. They actual blood. And we know why you cancelled it. It's okay.
We're not going to go into that because it's a show, but I agree with the cancellation. Let's put it like that.
Whoa.
Me too.
What?
Me too.
Ah?
I mean, it was good in
What
parts,
do you mean in
and then
pa-
it got really weird.
In parts.
You heard what I said, Murray. I think I sent you a long voice note on Lovecraft.
And I
So
told you I
we'll
don't
leave
care.
that at that.
I told you I don't care. It was flames. Anyway.
I know nothing about Lovecraft, but as for The Harder They Fall, the cast looks quite strong. I'm looking
It
at
does.
this. I don't even remember this
Yeah,
coming out.
it's worth a watch.
Yep. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/in-the-armchair. The review is on there.
I like the self plug. I respect it greatly. But wait, what was the cowboy film that I did watch?
The other Idris one,
Yeah, I like that film.
with the guy from Stranger Things. I forgot what it was called.
I don't even remember what it's called. Yeah, it was a
it's
good
the guy,
film.
with the guy from Stranger Things, the black boy in Stranger Things.
I'm gonna give. I remember thinking. Let me look for it.
Can I just, speaking on Idris, have you, man, I know Giles, I know you have, because you've done the schedule, but Amari and Carl, have you seen or heard about his next film?
He's got 2 films coming out. Or
Yeah.
they're out.
It's like back to
not
back.
Beast, not Beast,
The one with Tilda Swinton.
the other one.
I've
Yes.
seen the poster.
3,000 years of
Yeah,
longing.
I've seen the poster.
I'm hoping I put 0 for that. I really do. I'm really hoping.
No,
I'm really...
we will definitely
No,
be
no,
talking
no.
about that
Wait,
film.
We know how we.
So do you know what it's about? Is that what you're saying?
I don't. I've got a vague idea, but based upon the images I've seen, we definitely have to watch this for the banter.
I was intending to watch anyway. I've got, you know me, I've got time for Idris. So yeah.
I had time for Idris. Idris is in that Will Smith category. You don't actually know if he's good anymore. But anyway, let's move on quickly because we're just.
House of Gucci, anyone?
Yeah, that was 1 star
Wanted
for me.
to. And, oh my god!
You could want to
1 star.
I haven't watched it, but I haven't heard great things either. So I'm just like,
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh.
Jared Leto has lost his mind. I don't know. You need to just, his character alone dropped it 2 stars. Just his character alone. I don't know what he's on these days.
Hey Kyle,
I'm
do you know
feeling
who
a
you
bit
sound
sorry
like?
for him. Who?
Kyle, you sound like me. How you dropping stars?
It's true. It's true. The most measured critic has turned into the most.
I said it to
Man
mine.
says a film's dropping 2 stars for one person's performance.
No, his performance was horrible, man.
Not even
I
one.
don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what's happened to him. Because between that and we forgot about Morbius when we're talking about superhero films as well. Yeah, oh God. Which probably might be the bottom. That might be the bottom of them all.
That was on purpose. I did that on purpose. Why are you trying to remind me?
No, but I'll give it to Lady Gaga in House of Gucci. She gave a good performance, but the film overall was disjointed. The other actors, they were overacting. Yeah, I was not a fan.
Oh gosh, man said 1. All right, cool. Okay, cool. What else? What else we got?
The only other film that I was actually looking forward to, and it was for different reasons, not for the obvious reason, was the Uncharted movie.
Oh yeah.
But that's only because I was a massive fan of the games. And if you haven't played the games, then it's not worth a conversation.
Yeah, we discussed this though, didn't we? Yeah, I remember watching it thinking, it's good, but it's giving me Indiana Jones vibes. It wasn't good Indiana Jones vibes. It was like Indiana Jones 5 instead of Indiana Jones 1.
I haven't played the game, so I was just coming at it purely from a film perspective, and I thought it was okay in parts. But overall, 2 stars.
Now be nice. Give it a 3. Be nice.
I'd have given it a 3, but it is a 2-star film. Again, it gets an extra star just by actually making it into the cinema, because that was another one that was in developmental health aid.
You lot are giving out and dropping these stars all over the gaff. What is this? You know, favorite behaviors. You lot have changed these last few years. I don't know why though. Obviously, I don't think there was no pandemic or anything. But you know,
Listen, certain man ain't even got Cineworld memberships.
hey,
anymore.
certain man like me.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's how certain man have changed.
You got any more Giles in your list?
I personally don't have any more that warrant speaking about.
Kyle, what you got?
The few undercover sleepers, I wanted to shout out Nightmare Alley
Hit me.
with Bradley Cooper.
Haven't watched
You've
that.
been talking about this for a minute.
That was very good. A strong 4 stars. I wanted to also give a shout out to Cop Shop.
You've just mentioned 2 films that are on my watch list, so now I've got even more of an incentive to watch them.
Yeah, Nightmare Alley and Cop Shop. They were the 2 undercover ones that I was like, yeah, people need to watch these films because they were good. I did also just want to say Dune was probably one of the most confusing films I've ever watched.
I gave it 2 stars, and one of those stars, it literally, no, I lied. Yeah, it got one of those stars just for cinematography, but actual film, for making sense, that film was worse than Tenet in making sense. I guarantee you that's my position.
Yeah, and I agree with that because I tried and I tried and I tried, but halfway through I just gave up.
And people kept on telling me, oh, it's good, I can't wait for the next one. I was like, that film was bad.
Yeah. So those are the only 2 I wanted to cover.
So Amari, you gave it 2 stars for what?
I gave it. It would have got 1 star, but it gets an extra star for cinematography because that was because
he got the word. He said the correct word the second time. I was trying to catch him out.
we're not doing the Russian English speaking again. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. No. I just remember also I hated the fact that the music in the film was driving me insane. I remember that was one of the things that I was just annoyed. Why am I? I'm like, what motor is this? What is going on here? How did you make this sound and then feel like to apply this sound to your film and then think that's okay? It was driving me insane. Freaking insane.
Hey, what? Because now you reminded me of something. What film was it? It was fucking Tenet, bruv. The levels, the sound levels in Tenet.
Was a mess. The sound
Oh,
was
do you
a mess.
remember that? Like, bruv, on a level, you'd hear like Mr. Washington. like you just reminded me. I swear, no, they just said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna fuck up everyone. I'm gonna spin their minds." But yeah, that reminded me, Mari. Thank you. I needed to get that off my chest.
You know why that film was so loud though, don't you?
What, Tenet or Dune?
Tenet. You know why it was so loud?
No, why?
He's got a smile in his face.
Because they used they used the same mic that Amari uses to record the
podcast. Shout outs to Candyman, got 4 stars. Argue with yourselves.
What?
Argue with yourselves.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt him. Just let him go. Just let him go. Go on, Amari. Stage all yours.
Don't Look Up got 4 stars. Also, argue with yourselves.
Agreed.
3 stars for me.
Right. Free Guy got 2 stars, but that's because this is like the worst Ryan Reynolds film I've ever seen in my life. But it was supposed to be a really good film.
Whoa. Can we stop there, please?
The worst?
Can we stop there? Because I gave that 4. That was one of his best films. No. He actually done something different. Yeah.
You don't watch enough Ryan Reynolds films, that's why. Anyway.
I watch all of his films because I need to shout out Hitman's Wife, Bodyguard. That was actually surprisingly funny.
Listen, he has range.
Part 2.
His comedy range is high, so I gave it 3. I even was thinking about giving it a 4. I won't lie. That's another side.
I gave it 4, and I gave Free Guy 4.
Okay, that's fine. The Kingsman would have got 5.
Go on.
But it made itself be a...
What?
Yep. But...
Yeah, we watched that together.
Yeah, it made itself drop down to a 4 because it should have stopped when
What?
When there was a point.
Yes.
But there's a point where it should have stopped, and it definitely would have got a 5 if it stopped at that point. It didn't need anything more.
Was that after? Can I guess?
Yeah,
what
you know
point
what the point is.
Was it after the opening credits?
No, okay, wow.
This was the worst Kingsman.
Oh, are you serious?
This Kingsman was
it was better than the second one.
The second was way better than the second one. Way.
Yeah. Well, that was shit as well. That was shit.
To be fair, the second one,
man.
This is definitely a 4.
Nah, man.
Okay.
Nah.
All right. So what did you give it?
Kingsman. That's a 2, man.
My God, I'm not gonna see what I mean. Like, I'm just hearing
That's
wild
a
stuff.
2.
I'm hearing wild stuff.
What, in comparison to the first one?
Yeah,
In comparison to
the first one
original?
got a 4 as well. The first one could have got a 5 to be when I'm really.
This is not on the level of the first one.
Yes,
Don't
it
give
is.
me that. This is
Yes,
not on the
it
level
is.
of
It's
the
not on
first
a
one.
level,
I'm not
but
having
they're
that.
both 4-star films.
This film was whack. But anyway,
Mortal
go on,
Kombat.
let's say the rest of it.
Mortal Kombat. What did we give it? What did everyone give it?
1.
I'm giving Mortal Kombat 3 stars.
I think I gave it
1.
1 is
2.
hard. 1 is harsh, man. 1 is very harsh.
It was shit.
Yeah, but when have you seen a good Mortal
I
Kombat
don't
film?
think it was a shit film.
No, it was. It was the choice of actors. Do you know what? I remember gunning this. There's an actor they used. I'll have to bring it up. But one of the actors, he's like a comedic actor, and then they gave him like a serious hard man role, and I was like, why have you done that? I'm not convinced by him. It was rubbish. It was rubbish. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Well,
I think for the nostalgia conversation, and a sort of another attempt, I thought they did well. I think they did well, and I think it's one of those
Kano,
kind of
Josh Lawson.
I thought the Kano character was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Kano character was good. But anyway, yeah, 3 stars for me. I enjoyed Mortal Kombat.
I can give it 3 stars. And not feel shameless. I can do that.
Listen, just because they shouted out flawless victory and fatality doesn't make it a fucking 3-star, 4-star.
Well, I've told you my position on the matter, and that's my position. Thank you very much. Now, one of the films
at most that gives it an anyway. Yeah, go on anyway.
Oh wait, what's that? What's that? Give it at most as an average? I know you did it as well. Come, tell me the average.
No, I was saying if there's like a nostalgic element, because I've given films an extra star at most for a nostalgic element, but
I'm giving it 3 stars.
That's a massive push. But
anyway, a film that was 5 stars and is very underrated is The Last Duel, and I don't know if any of you men saw that.
On my list, not watched it.
Matt Damon, wasn't it?
Yeah, Matt Damon. Yeah.
I wanted to watch it when it came out.
And I don't know if his name is Ryder or he's got that face you want to punch. As the opposite guy. That's what I call him, the punch.
Oh, Driver.
Guy.
Adam Driver. What you got against Adam Driver, man?
His face is punchable.
Nah.
His
face is so punchable. I can't lie to you.
He's a good actor, man.
I'm not saying that he's not a good actor,
he's annoying.
But his face is punchable. I think it's because I remember from Star Wars. I'm just like, what are you doing here? And him doing that stupid.
No,
Yeah.
I've watched.
Did you Marriage Story? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was good in that. It was good in that as well.
He can really act. I'm not debating his ability. I'm just saying he's got a punchable face.
You've just got
But I gave it 5 stars.
Do you know what? I
recommend.
Do you know what? Just on a quick one, I'm actually a fan of these kind of ye old English kind of films. I'm just looking at the lineup now and the images. It actually looks quite good. So I'm going to give this a watch. I remember it coming out, but it in a weird sort of schism way, it reminded me of Forbidden Kingdom with Orlando Bloom. I got that kind of vibe.
No, you mean the Kingdom of Heaven? No, Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven. That's a very weak film, and Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom should never be a lead.
I enjoyed that,
and that's okay.
I enjoyed that. If I remember correctly, it gave us some good scenes, some good fighting scenes. But anyway, I'll watch it.
The reason why I'm not a fan, just to cut in there, the reason why I'm not a fan of Adam Driver is I've watched 2 of his films. I've watched a few of his films actually, but 2 of them that stand out. And I urge you to go and watch them, and then we can have a conversation. So the first one came out in 2016. It's called Patterson. Yeah, go and watch that film. Tell me what you think. And then obviously the other film was The Dead Don't Die.
That was not on him, though. That was not on him.
Yeah, but he was in it, so it doesn't count. It's a black mark against him.
Yeah, but aside from that, I think he's someone I can rely on.
Wait, he was also in House of Gucci.
His catalogue is looking very scary. I can't lie.
No. I need to bring up his catalogue because he is decent. He's decent.
I don't debate his ability, but the catalogue is scary. A few more that we have to discuss for how bad they was in my mind. Without Remorse, that needs to be discussed for how bad it was. If you don't know what it was Michael.
What's that? Why does that
It was
sound
Michael B.
familiar?
Jordan. It was Wallace being an adult doing something.
Yeah, Amazon film.
Oh.
Amazon film.
Okay, that wasn't. No, it wasn't like
Oh.
a one. It was a 2-star.
It was a
It was a
1-star.
2-star.
It was a
No,
1
it was a
star.
2. It was
Man
a 2.
said it wasn't a 1, it was a 2.
Because 1 is like when you're at the bottom. 1 is like at the
Yeah,
bottom.
it was at the bottom.
No. That was
But
a
2
2-star.
isn't far off. Man.
It was 2,
2 isn't
yeah.
far off.
Yeah.
Oh
You can
gosh.
check that out on my channel as well. I did that one.
We say 1's lying at the bottom, 2's sitting on the bottom.
Literally. 1 step up, bruv.
Nah,
I
there's
got
a
a
big
couple-
difference. A 1-star is just horrible.
All right. So, what did you not say about Wrath of Men or Wraith of Man, or I'm gonna call it Wrath of Men, but with a W, or Wraith? I don't know how you pronounce it.
3 stars.
I like that film.
3 stars.
Was that Jason Statham?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 stars. 3 stars.
I can roll with the freeze. I can roll with the freeze. Did anybody watch the Tomorrow War? Now, this was also another 1-star film, but you know, I'm gonna blame. I'm
Who was
blaming
in that?
Amazon. It got Chris Pratt in it, but basically, I realized that if he's not in Guardians of the Galaxy, these films are basically 1 stars in my mind. So that's what I'm going with right now. I know we're watching a film with him this
He's
year.
never been. That's what you hit the nail on the head. To me, he's never been good. He is funny in Parks and Recreation, but that's it. I don't rate him as an actor.
I can see one of my favourite actors is attached to this as well, mate, so that's disappointing.
What,
Mr.
the Tomorrow
J.K.
War?
Simmons.
What, the Tomorrow War? Or
Yeah,
what can I
yes,
say?
It's Amazon. It's Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. Amazon's
Anything
Amazon's
on?
kind
There's
of-
nothing good on Amazon.
Okay, so one of the highly rated films, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh,
Oh
I can
yes,
comment
we
on that.
forgot to touch on that.
Yes, we need to touch on this.
I haven't watched it. We were supposed to. We was originally supposed to.
Was it supposed to record?
I'm gonna just give it 4. It was a great film,
Same.
very very good. And again, I'm loving Lakeith Stanfield, man. I think he is serious.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
got
And
5 stars.
he's on a trajectory. You know, and it's again obviously as a black man, black actor in Hollywood, he's on a trajectory, quality, and Daniel Kaluuya's best performance.
Do you think he's on that Denzel? You think he's on that Denzel trajectory? You know,
Well, no, that's a high standard.
I wouldn't say.
I said trajectory.
Let me paraphrase. Of today's standard, yes, but he will never reach.
Ain't that hard then, is it?
Nah.
Nah.
Well, yes and no. But yes and no, because there's still a lot of quality actors out there, but Lakeith definitely is on that path.
Yeah, I'm just saying the trajectory. I'm not saying he is good, but I mean, like, when I see his name, I know that I'm going to see quality work. That's what I'm that kind.
Yeah, but not. Nah, Denzel. When you actually go back,
I know how special.
I'm not
Denzel
talking
is.
about before. I'm talking about before he was like his body of work. Yeah, nah. Lakeith ain't got. I don't think he's touching or getting.
He's
anywhere
only
close.
literally.
No.
He's only got 3 films basically right now.
Is it only 3?
He's got 3 films and Atlanta.
So I'm like, he's still young in the game. He's like it's young in the game basically.
Yeah, I guess so. It depends on the role he picks because what was that love film that he was in? Was it with Issa Rae?
The Photograph.
Yeah, that was no good.
What was that one there called? Yeah, it was not good.
I don't know how this is painful to hear. Maybe I haven't seen that.
Man confirmed it just to say it was no good. I love that. I love that.
But no, I think that was about it for me. Those. Oh, did anybody watch Boxing Day?
What's that?
Boxing Day. What was that?
I'm gonna call it the UK Black Christmas film. That's what I'm gonna call it.
I saw one of the Little Mix girls in this. I was gonna watch this with Amber, but then we didn't.
No.
I did. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
We forgot about Encanto as well, which I thought was 5 stars.
Wait, you expect me to watch animation?
Is that the animation?
Yes, animation.
Yes,
You already know where I
animation.
am.
We have to sprinkle them in there every now and again. And I would agree with you, Carl. It's a modern day Disney classic, 100%. Especially as I see, Giles, you've added a few Disneys to the schedule. So
Oh, of course. Come on. There's even some horrors in there that we're not going to watch. Kyle.
No, I'm watching horrors again. So
speaking of horrors, are we gonna watch that? Is it Smile? That Smile film? Have you seen it? Add it to the list, Giles.
Smile.
All I'm hearing you lot say is that you want me to be watching Juju. That's literally all I'm hearing you lot say. But okay, cool.
Bro, listen, when we was reviewing Nope the other day, you was like, oh, it's Juju.
Yeah. If I think it's horror, I don't like it. I'm not watching horror.
Oh, okay. I've just seen this film. It's coming out in September, yeah? It's got Jesse T. Usher in it.
Yeah, it's scary then. It's scary. Because I don't even think about him from The Boys. I think about him from Shaft. And he was scary in Shaft. The black guy in
Independence Day.
It's the guy from
The Boys. It's a black guy from The Boys.
A-Train. Is it A-Train?
Yeah, it's A-Train.
Yeah, A-Train. Yeah, A-Train.
Yeah, he doesn't fulfill me with joy when I see his name.
Yeah, there was another Netflix film he was in.
He was in Shaft. He was in Shaft, and he was just looking like the weak.
Shaft.
He was looking like the weak link, and Samuel was still shining. I'm like, this guy's 70 and he's making you look silly. I know Samuel's a goat, but you shouldn't be looking this silly. You shouldn't.
Yeah. No, but he was in. There was another one. There was another one which was the worst film of the year.
Dangerous
That's
Lies.
it. That was the worst
Dangerous
film of the
Lies.
year.
Awful.
Wait, is it the worst film of the year? Dangerous Lies. Okay, let me put that back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, did anybody watch Songbird? Now I know the name of the film. It was the film. It's the film that was done in a pandemic, based in 2022 or 2023 or 2024, where if you don't have the virus, you can move around. But there's only like 5 people in the whole city that could move around or some dumb shit. You should watch it. It's a really bad film, but it came out in the pandemic. It was for the pandemic. I gave it 1 star, but just to entertain yourselves or make yourself cry.
Time to waste.
Trust me, there's always time to waste. There's
too much content to waste time on 1 stars.
Yeah, but you don't know the 1 stars till you watch it.
Especially. Well, you've just told us.
Yeah, but I'm telling you to watch it. I need you to get your time wasted. Ooh, okay. Something we don't actually watch these things. There's a film called Pleasure. Yeah, and I gave this film.
Is it a blue movie?
Is it 18?
I was literally thinking the same thing.
It's basically is, but it isn't.
Should I get me Vaseline out for that one, Amari? Should I get me Vaseline out?
Hey,
Get me baby lotion.
Vaseline, KY, whatever you need. Okay,
Get me wet wipes. I need wet wipes.
and the hand tissues on the side. Whatever you need.
The film's called
Should I get a sock?
The film is called Pleasure.
Should I get a sock?
The film is called Pleasure.
Should I get a sock?
It's a serious film. It's a serious film.
And that concludes this special catch-up episode of Those Movie Review Guides. Join us for episode 18, where we will be reviewing Nope and Bullet Train. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We're on all major streaming platforms. You can find us under Those Movie Review Guys, and get in touch as well on social media. The handle is @TMRG Podcast. Those Movie Review Guys, we out.